And we're live. I mean, we are live. Indeed, we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome, everybody. I just figured out that I'm a little bit hot, so let me get rid of that a little bit. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Indeed, great of you guys to be here in the studio for one last time. So that means that starting very soon we will need to do some other stuff, but we'll talk about that later. But before I do, let's make sure that we have some music coming your way, because of course we want to have that as well. There you go. Now we're really started. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the show. Welcome to TechCondo. Let me first of all just check things out right here. If everything is going fine, and I think it is, because I hear. There you go. I'm fully live. In about 4 minutes, we will start this exclusive behind-the-scenes show. It's the last show of the year, and that means that I wanted to unwrap a package, so to speak, and that's the reason why I'm going to go full throttle and show you everything, all the ins and outs of the studio. And it's a very technical episode, I have to admit, so please be aware of that. But I'll try to make it a little bit high level. I'm going to step away a little bit from the how-tos, but more about why I'm using it and how, but not really the how-to, because otherwise it's going to take like 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. Might do something with that on the website though. So that means that starting next year the website gets a little bit more exclusive content, because hey, I want to give you a little bit more. So especially if you're around $5, $10, or $25, you can see that. Talking about people that I like, Jordan, welcome, hello, great of you to be here on here, and of course also, if it works, Kathleen is also in the house. Welcome both of you. I really appreciate that you take the time, of course, in your well, busy schedule, I only assume, to have a look around and enjoy the ride, and I hope that you're gonna love it. I just made some fresh brewed coffee. I use an espresso, by the way, if you don't know. So this is not an espresso cup. This is well, typically an espresso used to be patented. That's not anymore. So you can actually buy other brands. Hey, this one is a little bit cheaper. Hey, it's just a way you have to wake up. So I don't want to wake up. I hear you say, well, that means that because it's Saturday, I typically take like an hour on the couch just to hang out, to be a little bit more energetic during the show. So the show will start in about 2 minutes, and so I would ask you to get some chips, get some sweets, get some coffee, tea, whatever you like. By the way, if you drink coffee or tea, how do you drink it? This is plain black coffee. There's nothing in there. This is just so straight on, the way that I like it most. Although I also like cappuccino once or twice. I have to stay hydrated, right? Yeah. So unfortunately, one thing is that I wanted to also show you Kermit, but he's not in there yet. So maybe we have to do the show without Kermit. That would be a little bit disappointed, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So that that's what they always say, right? Let me check what's the time at this moment. I think that it's roughly time to start to prepare. Yeah, about 30 seconds to prepare with the show. So again, get some coffee, and I hope that you had a great week. I am really looking forward. Next week is my last week that I have to work on my day-to-day job for this year. So I have like a little bit more than a week of easy going. Yeah, I know, right? Kermit is hiding. Yeah, I know. He was here like 10 minutes ago, so that's a little bit of a thing, but all right. Let me see, what's the time? 5 seconds ago. Okay, so let's do this thing. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Welcome to TechCondo. It is 7 p.m. Central European Time. That means that it's time for TechCondo. Now, that is every week, but I have to admit, this is also the last episode of this year. That doesn't mean I'm not going to go live, but probably not from the studio, or maybe just some small things, but not a full-on production, as you can see now. Today, we're going to go through the whole thing, so the whole behind the scenes treatment. So that's up for you today. I want to welcome people that are going live, kind of seeing the show live on Facebook or on YouTube. So if you're on Facebook, make sure to like the page, comment as much as you can, and like the video. Share the video with people that you think that they are interested in the behind the scenes. Please do that also. If you're on YouTube, hit the bell. Make sure that you're subscribed there as well. I see Kathleen, Jordan, and my dad are at least at this moment live, but of course you can also see this after effect. Let's do this thing. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to TechCondo. My name is Petra Verbruggen, and you can support me on the website techcondo.net, and you can see that right there coming again. 5, 10, 25, and even $50. What you get is, well, you support the show, which is important. People like Kathleen, Jordan, and my dad are in the house. They are here, and they are supporting the show, which is awesome. But you can do that too in the same way. And in order to thank you guys, starting next year, I will also give you guys some exclusive content on video as well. We'll be talking about some kind of upcoming videos because I do have a plan. So I actually have a plan for January and February and a little bit of March already. So it's kind of like something is coming up, and we can see that. I'm looking at something because something is awkward, which we will see during the behind the scenes tour. But we'll start with this camera because this is the camera that you guys see for the most of the time, right? And one of the things that you might have noticed or not is that I'm actually having a earpiece right here. So we're just started with the behind the scenes. So this earpiece allows me to listen to myself. I can actually hear myself, so I know that I'm hot or I'm not hot. I can hear the music like it just did. So like for instance, I'll do right now for 10 seconds or so. This one. So that's music that I can actually also hear in my head, in my ear. And this is really one of the most important things, is that I like to be in control, and this is one of the things that I do that with. I'm going to show you what devices that I have, but before I do that, let's look at what you can see right here. So you can see here this X Keys, which is a great product by X Keys, PI Engineering, I think it's called. And this is actually where I do the whole switching of the show with. And it's something that 9 out of 10 people do not show, but I love to, well, show that I'm actually doing this by myself. So I can actually just hit this code right here, and I'm going to this camera right there, and that camera back. So you can use this to start, stop, all kinds of different things. You can also put in a picture-in-picture, and it's a really handy device. And Dan Slider, who's also a part of the community, we'll have a discussion with him in a few weeks. At least that's the idea. So that's the first thing. The second thing, and I'm going to this this shot right here, is this Surface Pro that I bought in the US during the summer. This summer, it's an older model, so they just released a new model, but that's great because I got this Surface Pro, which is an i5, 120 gigabytes hard drive. Well, SSD card, and I believe 16 gigs of RAM. And it is a really nice product, and I can actually use this to do this. Boom, Fiona, welcome. How are you? So that's something that I can actually do from within this product, which is really great. So I can actually see on the screen that people are commenting, which I love. So my dad, Kathleen, Jordan, it's all here on this screen. So I can immediately use that as a way to have like a Q&A during the show. Also, and what I'm doing now is that I'll just make this a little bit smaller, or put it a little bit here. Here you'll see just something that is now not working because this is the Facebook counter, but below that I have a Google Home Mini, so that I can turn on the lights. There's a keyword to turn on the lights here, and here you probably don't see it, but we'll show it a little bit later. There is this product that I use to have the in-ear monitor so that I know what's going on. Also, and I'm putting this a little bit back in a way that you can see it, I can actually also use this product to control my cameras. So this camera, which you see right here, I can actually control. I can actually move a little bit up, like so, or maybe even go down, like so. Oops, a little bit too much there. But there's a lot of ways to use that product. That is a joystick that is specifically for the PTZ camera, which is roughly the same as this one. And if I go to this camera right there, like boom, you see that camera right there. You also see that I have a curtain, which seems to be blue, but I mean, this is not blue. This is actually black. This is because I actually use, I'm going to remove this because I know you can hear me. This is a lit backdrop, so you can actually see my hands going blue now. What we're going to do is that I'm going to use the Kermit cam to go through everything, but I just wanted to show you the cameras that you always see first, right? So this is the first camera. This is this camera right here. So there, that camera right there. And the third and last one is right there, which I don't like what it looks like now, so I'm going to give it a little bit more of a, there you go. I'm like that. What can I say? Okay, Kathleen says you have such a great studio. Thank you so much, Kathleen. I really appreciate that. But in all fairness, this is also a studio that took me 7 years to create. So it's maybe it went very fast for you or for the viewers, but a lot of technology that I have now, I have been using for like 3-4 years, or maybe even seven years. Like for instance, the one that we're going to use today to show you around, because I'm having a mobile camera. But before I do that, let's get this. Get that out of the way, and I'll show you which camera we're going to use, because today we're going to use Kermit Cam as a way to show you around the studio. So let's go there and get my up to date. There you go. So this is Kermit Cam right here, and you can actually see here that I am actually in my studio, in my studio, the apartment or condo. So it's for me to go to the studio. It's really just a few seconds work to do that. And I now have to go to this shot because I want to show you the camera that I'm using right here before and I hope that this is going to work. This is a very inexpensive camera. It's about 250 euros. And one thing that I've not tested, so I'm going to do that right now, is I want to hear if the audio is good enough on this camera. Otherwise, you might not hear me that good. So, in order to do that, I have to first mute this one and then go to the other camera. So, let's do that. So, this is muted. Okay, so now we will be working on this camera. I hope that this is good enough. Can you hear me correctly? Please tell it in the comments so that I can. Oh, wait, something went wrong there. Okay, I hope that you can hear me. And now 1 2 3 1 2 3. Otherwise, I'll just check it out for now. This is something that I typically don't do, of course, because we're professional here. But for today, it's fine. So let's see. Am I still live? I am not sure if I'm live even. That's interesting. Why is this gray? Gray. We can hear you, but faint. Okay, that's interesting. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay. Let's try to do it the other way then. Okay. Let's do it this way then. Sorry about that, guys. Let's keep that on this one right there. It was a little bit awkward on the Facebook app. It looked like I was live, but it was gray, which is a little bit awkward. But let's do this thing. Let's go to the camera, this camera, and let's show you around. So first of all, like I said before, let's see how far I can go. That is the metric system that is now not really working correctly, but that is normally it will provide the amount of likes that I have. The ProSonos audio monitor is right there, so here you can select your volume, you can add a headphone, and this is a PlayStation 4 headset, which is only one side, but that's perfect. That's really enough for me. Then we have, of course, the PTZ Optics G20 PTZ camera, which is great. I also added the NDI license on this camera because that by itself made it possible to use one cable for one the video, 2 the control, and 3 the power as well. And if you go a little bit further, you can also see the software that I'm using. So this is the software that I'm using right here. Hello! This is the software that I'm using. It's called vMix. I have the 4K edition of that software. It's a fantastic piece of software. What I really like about the software is that it is also it enables macros and that kind of stuff. And it is really a nice piece of software. Now this is the system that I'm using, and here you can see the comments that I have. By the way, before I forget, let's go to this one first. Before I forget, the products that I'm showing today will be given to you via a URL in a few minutes. During the show, I will post it to you, so you can have a look at it afterwards. Don't worry about it, so you don't have to write down everything. All right. So also you there see the Sonos One speaker, which also uses ALEXA, for voice control, but that's not the reason why it's there. The reason why it's there is because I love music and I want to do that as much as I can. So that is that one right there. Also, I have, and this is the main camera, even though it's a very small camera, this is the main camera. This is the Z-Cam from PTZ Optics. It is a SDI enabled camera. It does not have NDI in this case, but I can upgrade it to an NDI license, but I have not done that yet because of, well, you know, it was not needed. And you can also see I'm using these articulated arms. These are from Manfrotto. These are absolutely the best arms that I have. I do have the other one, which I will show you in a minute. But these are my favorites, and I have 3 of them, and they are absolutely gorgeous because this is another one right there. It's absolutely fantastic. To control the cameras, I'm using this product right here that I showed you a few minutes ago. You can just hit the camera that you want to change, up to 4 cameras on as a button, but you can have more cameras. Don't worry about that. And you just say call and then a number and then boom, and it'll go to a location. These are some remotes just in case. So I have remotes there as well. A great keyboard. Colors I don't use anymore, but sometimes I still use the live stream software, and then they are very handy. And of course my mouse, which is a Mad Catz RET8 mouse, which is absolutely fantastic, really great. And that's coffee. Okay, so that's the first part of the tour. I am going to go a little bit further, but I just want to also utilize some time to, you know, react to people. So let's see what we have here. Kathleen says, I love to get one of those PTZ cameras someday. Yeah, so they are expensive, I have to admit, but they are really worth it. So. I would suggest to try to get some money aside for that. James is in the house. He says, just tuned in, loving the tour. Awesome. I hope that you're going to love it. Fiona says, I have camera envy, and that is, well, that's to be expected. And by the way, Fiona, regular coffee, no additions, nothing there, just the real stuff. All right, let's do this thing. Let's continue with the tour. So let's go into this tour, and boom. All right. So as you can see, I use trussing to remove all the cables. So there's a lot of cables, and if I follow this, you'll see a 600 LED flat light, LED light, which is brilliant. It's set to the blue light, 5600 Kelvin. Is exactly what I like most. But this is the light that is one of the lights I have. Actually, I have 3 lights in the studio. This is one, and if I go this way, we'll talk about that camera later. Here you have a smaller one, which is about 300. LEDs, and then of course on the other side, if I go back again, we'll talk about that camera later. Go this way, and look at all those cables. Look at all those cables. The whole reason why you want to have trussing is to get rid of all those cables. And there you have another camera. Here you can see the lights very nicely. So there are quite some lights there as well. Okay, now, yes, you did see it. Here you have a camera, which is the same camera that I am having in my hand, which is Kermit Cam, of course. But this camera is actually the camera that I use to show you my desktop, and I have to look at it. Which one it is? Just give me a few seconds to get the correct camera inside. Right there, I have it. There you go. Boom. So this camera right here is that camera right there. So this camera is exactly the same that I'm in my hand, and it does have a different articulating arm because I just happen to have it. And why should I buy a new one if I have already something in that area? Fiona says, are those lights dimmable? Right. Oh. Are those lights dimmable? Yes, they are dimmable, and I have actually a remote to do that. So let me get that remote for you to show you. It is a very small remote right here. Where is it? There you go. And then you also see what it's YN600 LED. That's the light. And here you can select if you want to have 6500 Kelvin or 3200 Kelvin. So 3200 is yellowish light, and 6500 or 5500, sorry, is bluish light. And I have it on blue all the way up. Well, that's not true. I actually have it not even all the way up. Let me see if I can do that all the way up. So let's do this. So this is all the way up, and this is what I have it at. So it's not that much. I need to get. Let's go back to this shot right there. Sorry guys for the shaky cam for a minute. Fiona says, I need to get a better camera to zoom in overhead when I do my demos. Yes, that is definitely the thing, but these cameras are not expensive. This one is 250 euros. Just to let you know, it's not expensive. This is actually the cheapest camera that I could find that had a clean HDMI output, and it's really working as a charm. So just to let you know. Fiona is now also light envy. Well, you haven't seen everything laid out there, Fiona. So let's talk about lights as the next subject. By the way, let's do one more thing before I do that, because I have a visitor in the studio, and we'll just show him where he is. And unfortunately, he has a cable lying in front of him, but there he is, right there. Kermit is in the house. Give it chin. Kermit. Sorry for the cable. That's not a very nice way of lying there, but I'll make sure that that is gone for him. So let me stand up again and look around a little bit, like so. Make sure that Kermit doesn't have any problems, and then I'll just cut to this angle again. So here you'll see a Showtech LED bar, which is a nice bar. It's in blue at this moment, but you can make it purple, red, yellow, green. But blue is really the best color, because if you use blue, the cool part of blue is that it actually makes it harder for you to understand how big a room is. So blue is a little bit for your psychic, a little bit easier to make it a little bit of a bigger room. So I have 3 of them right here. These are lighting up the backdrop, let's say the curtain that you see right there, and it goes all the way to this side, all right there, and it continues and it continues. Let me, like so. And now we're at this. Ooh, I see that my lens is not so so clean. But here you have the other PTZ camera, and here is where what I call the party on switch right there. So if I want to switch on or switch off the studio, this one right here will do the trick right there. So that will be the party on switch of the studio. Okay, sorry again for the lens that is a little bit dirty, if I can see it through now. Kathleen says, Oops. Kathleen says Kermit was just waiting for his grand entrance. Yes, he was definitely. Okay. Let's go through the display here. So let me check on the other hand. So as you might have noticed, I am a fan of Star Wars, but also for Lego. So here you have all kinds of Star Wars oriented spaceships and cool parts which I'm using, but there are also some other parts right there. For instance, a live view there, some cameras, some Mevo cameras that I used to have in my studio, but I'm still going to use them for other stuff in the future. This is my favorite photo camera, the Canon camera, and some mouse stuff. And going lower, you'll see some Marvel stuff, and of course I love audio, so this is my favorite microphone, not quality wise, but especially because of the how nice it looks, and Wally and that kind of stuff. And yes, I am a Simple Minds fan, so Simple Minds should be part of my display. And a lot of garbage right there. So as you can see, this is like the garbage collection. That's my printer right there. That printer is needed. I have to use it in a couple of hours. But for now, you can see it's very hard to get there. And here you have my cat again, Kermit. There you are. So that is that part again. Let me see if there are some questions in the meantime before I go into the technical realm, so to speak. Let me see. Kathleen says, "Ooh, Kermit! Yay!" And Kermit just made a grand entrance, and he definitely did. Okay, so next up is, let's talk about this part of the studio. Not the camera, but that part right there. So this is, let me just remove the curtain a little bit. Now I have to. So this curtain right here, I also can put in front of the doorway, so that it's a little bit more of a wait, there you go. So it's a little bit more cleaned up. So then you can also see that the curtain is actually black. So on the right hand side you see it without lights, and the rest is all blue. So what I'll want to do is that I want to show you what's behind that curtain, because there is still some parts are behind that curtain. The way that I do that, that's a good question, is that I'm first going to open up the curtain so that you have an overview, and then we'll go into it one by one. Okay, so, hey Kermit, let's open it up, like so. So again, this is just a piece of a backdrop, as it's called, like so. And that should be helping you guys to have a look around. So here you'll find, let me remove this quickly. Oh, Kermit, sorry guy. Let's put that right in there. So here you'll find some cool stuff. Let me zoom into it a bit via the camera first, and then indeed, the magic behind the curtains, yes, or backdrops as they are called officially in this business. But let's zoom in a little bit and show you what we have. And we're gonna go right. We're gonna go first this one, like so. Okay. So what you see here is this right, this part right here, that is the studio PC. This is the PC that brings you vMix, and is also the streaming PC. That's the heart of the whole thing. So that is the major part of it. And on top of that, I'm trying to use my fingers here. You'll see this red thing right there. That is the dongle which I have to use for Livestream Studio, which I'm still using occasionally. And a little bit further, you'll see a Behringer 404 UMC. That's on top of my head. It might be a little bit different, but I promise you, you will receive a link with some more information. So let's take that opportunity to do that. I thought I had it ready, but of course I haven't. So let's put in a comment. Hey, why is it not working? Let's reload this page first and give you a link, because I promised you that. Where is it? Come on. Yes. Here you go. That's it. Okay, and go away. Okay, let me sorry about this. I thought I had it ready for you, but unfortunately I think that something went wrong, so I'll just do it right there. I already have it. I'll just say copy, 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 and then I'll just put it right. Come on. Paste. Boom. Okay. So if you want to know what kind of gear that I have, I just put it into the link. So that might makes it a little bit easier, and I'll just put it on the screen as soon as I have it on my system as well. Maybe I have to reload. There you go. So this one. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that worked. Okay, so if you want to, oh, that way, yeah. These are the products that I'm going to talk about. I didn't know that worked. That's cool. That's really cool. I love it. Okay, so that is the Behringer right there. Okay, then we'll move on a little bit. So I'll just, in the meantime, go to another location as low as I can get. Maybe I'm in luck. No, I'm not in luck, but I'll tell you. So one thing that I cannot show you is that I have a fog machine as well, which I'm not going to use here in the in the studio. But I do have a fog machine that is barely out of the location. But the next part is, and now I need to make sure that my computer is gone for a bit. That's this one. So this, what you see right here, this thing here, and I'll show you in a minute in a better way. That is the QU16. That is my mixer, my audio mixer, and there you have a screen, which is a HP23M, which I like, and that is a monitor for a system that I'm trying to use. And Kathleen saw the list, and she says, "Thank you." No worries. I love it. Okay, so as promised, I will give you a little bit of a better view. So let's get my trustworthy camera again. Let's go into that area and show you from nearby what it all means. Again, sorry for the shaky cam for a bit. All right, so to be careful for Kermit there with the cables. And I know that the audio is a little bit worse at this moment, so unfortunately I cannot do anything about it at this moment. But this, let me switch on the lights here. I have a small LED light right there. So this is the audio interface that I use for the audio. So you can also see me talk right there in the lights. And this is the machine. It's a big machine. These days it can be smaller, but when I bought this one, this was the way that it looked. And it goes all the way to that location right there, and a lot of different connections. So this is the QU16, which is a very nice audio interface. I use it because I also mix quite some bands, and this is really helping me to do that because I have quite some processing power. Like I can let me show you. If I click on a area, you can here see all of the wavelengths, that kind of stuff, which makes it really a cool piece of machinery right there. So a lot of waveforms there that you can change, and yes, I like that. So looking up a little bit more, here you have the network interface, which is from Ubiquiti, the Unify system, and another computer which we will be talking about at a later stage, only not today, because yeah, but I'll show you. It's there. Then we have a lot of bags and plastic cases that are all labeled HDMI cables, SDI cables, audio cables, camera adapters, USB, CATS cable, some miscellaneous stuff, a spare modem just in case I need it someday, dongles, microphones, travel kits, SDI, large network cables, and again, this is it. Well, I'm going to tell you, this is something that I'm testing at this moment. We will be talking about this product in January. So that's the reason why I'm not saying too much about it at this moment. But I will say it has something to do with that thing right there. So this thing and that thing has something to do with each other. So, going back to this screen. There you go. That was a quick overview of the studio. I hope that you liked it. Again, the two products that I could not say too much about, that is because I want to make sure that before I'm talking about it, that it's something that it's also something that you guys might want to do, and I want to at least say something about it. I just got it for testing purposes, so I want to wait for that for a bit and maybe talk about it at a later stage. Okay, that's it for today. That is how far we have done. If you want to know how big this is, so the studio is from this side. This is, by the way, fake. This is fake. This is not real brick. Just to let you know, this is vinyl, and it's a very nice product as well. So the whole studio, let me say, is about 2.5 meters from this side to that side. So if I go back to this shot right here, from this side all the way to, oops, let me zoom out a little bit, like so. Now you can see the whole studio. So I'm trying it one more time. From this side to that side right there, that's about 2.5 meters. From that side to that side is 1.77 meters, so it's a very small studio. It's very compact, it's very nice, but it is very capable. And so if you want to have a studio, if you want to get some information, please go to the kid.com page that I just sent into the link. If you have any questions, and again, if you want to support the show, please do that. I cannot say how much it helps me to do this, because otherwise, you know, I'm doing this for free, of course, but help is always something that that you need in this kind of production. So go ahead to TechCondo.net and support the show if you have not done it yet. So 5, 10, 25, or sorry, 5, 10, 20, I don't know. $10 is the most. That's what I know. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, and I hope that you liked it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. Also, after the fact, I will come back to them and I will react to them. This is the last episode of this year, meaning that I will also use this opportunity to wish you a very, very good Christmas period, holiday period. Merry Christmas up front already. I will probably see you anyway, but just in case, I want to thank you so much for a great year. This is really a very good year. I didn't believe that this would be possible when I started in 2018, and I'll see you in 2019. So have a very good year end, very good holidays, and I'll see you next year. Bye bye.